All right, new hole here, Oasis par 5, hole 9. So, wow, this looks very interesting. Possibly going to put on a Titan, tried to use this. Nope, doesn't look like I can. It looks like we need to do some sort of layup. And I'd really like to have a side spin ball. You can see I'm kind of low on katanas. I only have 7, and I have thousands of kingmakers. So keep in mind, you can always use use that as an option for yourself. I'm going to go 4 rings here. Sorry that I have to do this very fast. Hopefully you guys can use a little bit better time management. I did not want that great ball to the right. It might end up costing me a second bounce in the rough. It does, and not only that, it cost me the rollout as well. So not very precise there with my movement. Had to kind of rush there, and I definitely did not want the right. Great ball to the right. I knew I was getting very aggressive to the right-hand side there. But all things considered, probably, not the biggest deal. First, I'd like to get to the shootout, but hopefully I can. I mean, that's going to be the other thing. So making sure that, maybe we both birdie. But at the very least, you guys do need a layup approach shot too. I do think getting to that fairway might have some sort of, maybe green advantage a little bit. Just trying to size this up a little bit. I am, possibly thinking rough bump there. And I think if I'm going to go for a rough bump shot, it's probably going to be better at this angle. So here you're going to see me, not to mention, I think I might get a little bit closer to the green, to be honest with you. It's hard to say for sure. At the very least, let's put a little bit of curl. You can see that bending it around the corner seems to be somewhat to an advantage here. It's quite possible that you guys might end up in the rough as well off the tee. So, you do need to have this layup option kind of down for your own benefit. Here you can see with my opponent's aggressive approach off the tee, he could do more of a hop shot. He can hop it off that fairway and kind of get it up to the next one. It's going to require maybe a little bit more precision as opposed to power. So just be careful when you are setting up to do that. You want to basically when you're in trouble, you want to make sure that you always get out of the trouble. I did want to set up thorn to where it was on the rough, so it looks like I did get a little bit too close. So if you want to see, for your benefit as to what you might want to do. Here, let's see, elevation-wise, it looks relatively level. The only real option that I have here is either a full backspin or a full backspin dunk are going to be my only 2 possibilities here. Here, we're not going to go for the dunk because it's probably going to be a little bit easier shot. And it might be more of a, aggressive approach where I might actually make it. And I'm assuming, that requires a little bit more precision. And with the side wind, it can be a little challenging. With more of a straight on wind, kind of like this, it would have probably been the easier shot than a dunk. But I feel like if I went for the dunk, there was probably, at least an 80% chance that I was probably going to put it in, and it'd be more beneficial to see the shootout. But my opponent also has an relatively easy wind. He could end up making this. So let's just see how this runs out. Looks like he didn't quite factor in the wind correctly and just came in a little bit too hot. But nevertheless, kind of happy to see the shootout hole here. Hopefully we can get one of the old redesigned Oasis holes or the brand new par 3. So kind of a 2-for-1 special here. If we do get one of the new holes or one of the, well, if we get an Oasis hole all together, they're definitely retouched. I'm going to split this video up into 2 if that's the case. If it's just one of the old holes, you guys have more than enough coverage. You don't need to re-see me set up a new video for an old hole. So I'm not going to do so. I can just put it on the end of this and you'll see it as kind of a supplemental. So the way that I usually play this is the rough bump. This is a very challenging wind to do so, so I'm not sure if I'll go for it or not. I'll probably base my decision how I play this hole off of how close my opponent hits the ball. I have not been doing this hop shot too much, and it definitely is a little bit of a gamble with a straight tailwind. Let's see how he does it. It's not too bad, not too bad. Might roll off the green now, let's see. So with my opponent there, you know, I can see what's that, 5 some yards, 6? Yeah, so 5.81. You know, I'm not really too afraid to do this shot right here, and maybe come in a little bit hot, because I would assume that if I did this, that you know, I understand that I'm going to come in long, but at the same time, I know that it's going to beat 6 yards. So you'll probably see me go this way, you know, be a little safe with the way that I play the rings. I might usually go 12-ish rings here. So let's see what this looks like. And there you can see, not too bad. And just as I mentioned, you know, it's definitely going to beat 5-6 yards, but at the same time, it's going to be very tough to get super close. But 1.5 is relatively good. So, you know, use that to your advantage. You could have done that with a Goliath as well. You know, you just got to, you know, focus on whatever your ring play is if you're going to do that for yourself. So keep that in mind. You know, sometimes it's smart to just play your opponent. The shot that I go for isn't necessarily going to be, you know, it's just going to be whatever I feel kind of is the smartest approach when going second. You know, avoid the mistake, play the proper ring play, and I usually use, you know, for my max B52, it's somewhere between 0.7 and 0.8 per ring. On my shootout shot, and that's the reason that you saw me go roughly 12 rings there, and also start my setup maybe 3 rings, just to have that little bit of protection. So I started it away from the edge, just to be a little cautious. You know, the only way that I could have messed that up is basically by landing the first bounce into the rough. So you just have to have confidence to pull off that shot, and make sure that you know, you just cover all your bases, make sure the first bounce and second bounce are going to be safe. So good luck there, and catch you guys on the next one.